Hey guys, it's Dragon Ball for Life here, and I'm back from my vacation. Now, I was gone for a whole week on vacation on a cruise. I had a 7-day cruise, and at that time, I couldn't really upload or make any videos, but I was checking my YouTube channel to see, any comments, which I did, and I was messaging back with you guys. All I could do was really message because the internet didn't really work on the cruise ship. I had to pay for it, but I wasn't going to do that. But yeah, I was able to talk back with you guys and check up on my channel and see the new videos that were dropping out and different topics and discussions I want to make for videos in the future. And even though I enjoyed the trip, I really just wanted to come back and make more videos for you guys because I enjoy doing this stuff. Also, I want to talk about my last video and the reception I got for that, so I want to get into that, but I just want to tell you guys, yeah, I'm back. I'll be regularly uploading again. The schedule is just going to go back to normal. But before I get into that, I do want to give a big thank you to a couple of you guys. Big thank you to Bass Caliborn for subscribing. Thanks a lot. And I think I got another subscriber right here. And a big thank you to Crimson Carter. So big thank you to Bass Caliborn and Crimson Carter for subscribing to my channel. I saw my subscribe count go quite a bit up higher. And I know there's more than 2 people that subscribed. But the thing is, I get notifications for who subscribes to my channel. So sorry if I haven't mentioned your name. Thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed to my channel. Especially those who, names haven't shown up. Because it's, I want to give everybody a shout out. But if I can't see it, I can't really do it. I also want to give a big thank you to all of you guys who are commenting on my last video. It did really, really good. It is the biggest video on my channel, not only my main channel, but my second channel too. So big thank you to you guys. I also want to give a big thank you to Ward Wife for the kind comments he was giving me in my last video too. He's such a cool dude. I know I've mentioned him a couple of times before, but he's just such a nice guy. Big thank you to you, man. You're very supportive. You always, got my back. That's what I love doing, making these videos, is to connect with you guys who have the same passion as me, and to hear your thoughts on my videos and what you feel about it and what I could do to make my videos better for you guys. But yeah, I know I'm going on for a bit. I just wanted to give you guys like thank you and shout outs for what you guys done, especially for my last video. I've hit over 1,000 views on it. I'm at 1,100 views now at that video, and that is my biggest video on both my channels. My other channel, the biggest video I had was almost around 600 views. So big thank you to all of you guys. I was checking it consistently. It was going up and up and up, and it means a lot that you guys checked it out. I did put a bit of time and effort into that, making that video, and I did care about it. But yeah, big thank you to all of you guys for viewing it all. It means a lot. Also, I want to give a big thank you to Saiyan Scholar, because he also commented on my last video and he was giving me positive comments once again. And he doesn't have to. I'm a small YouTuber. I barely have 50, I don't even have 50 subscribers, and my videos don't usually make up that get that many views. So for a YouTube channel as big as his, and for him who generates tens of thousands of views per video and stuff, for him to come to my channel and comment this stuff is very cool. Even though I might not agree with everything he says, I do really respect this guy. So big thank you to that, and let's get into this video now.
Thank you for watching this Dragon Ball Super Manga Power Scale. Yes, this is the manga only, and today we will be diving Dragon Balls deep into the Future Trunks arc, or what I prefer to call it, more content is fastest Power Scale GTs of them written bad, without much thought. And if we try to salvage it with our head and apply some theory, then all we've done is create headcanon to cope with it.
Wait, what did you say?
Them than to simply power jumps that just happen. Some are so bad and unbelievable, happening out of nowhere, that there is absolutely no way to make sense of them than to simply accept that they are just bad. A lot of fans try to make sense of certain things in Dragon Ball, particularly Power, but in reality, some things are simply just written bad, without much thought. And if we try to salvage it with our head and apply some theory, then all we've done is create headcanon to...
I do agree with him with that. That's one of my biggest problems with Dragon Ball Super, and I've commented on my videos about it. Is that it's just headcanon is just ridiculous. It doesn't make sense, and I'm not asking for Dragon Ball to be this masterpiece that is giving us a different perspective of life and stuff. I'm not asking for anything crazy. I'm just asking for some consistency. Write some new material and make it consistent. Not only in the writing department, but in the power scaling department. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for a masterpiece. I'm just asking for something that's basic, but at least competently written. So that's where I have a lot of disconnect between me, and I know my viewers also feel the same about like us and like the Dragon Ball fanboys. They can definitely, I mean Dragon Ball Super fanboys especially, they definitely defended no matter how ridiculous it is. But my problem with him making this statement is kind of hypocritical for him to say it, since he's been doing the same thing for GT. If you watch my GT videos, and once again, I'm not trying to attack him, but I do disagree with his argument that he's making. I do agree with what he's saying, but coming from him, it is very hypocritical. If you see his GT videos, he was giving these characters insane power jumps for doing literally nothing. He said Goten and Gohan were stronger than base Goku, who was supposed to be stronger than Super Saiyan 3, by just doing nothing. They didn't train. They just got stronger. And Goku coming back within like a couple of weeks of being in outer space, after he fought General Rildo and Baby stuff, he comes back and he surpasses them, he said, which also didn't make any sense. So no offense to him once again, like I said, but that's kind of bullshit if I'm being honest. He's saying that, headcanon stuff like that, but it's like, you ignored that in your GT videos. In your GT videos, you had instances where characters were getting insane power jumps by your definition, though there was more to it than that. I did, go more into it when I was debunking it, but yeah, he was stating that, it doesn't matter, we're going to ignore all headcanon, we're going to ignore, anything like that. If it's shown in the show, then it happened. So basically, his power scaling for that was, no matter how stupid the writing was, which it was most often than not, he just went with it and went with these high balls and like overly exaggerated. And that's one of the things I did not like about it, and why I was heavily critiquing those videos, was the fact that stupid things would happen. These characters would get insane power jumps in his calculations, and instead of saying, well, this is not very reasonable and let's think about it logically, he's like, nope, we're gonna ignore it. And he made countless headcanons, so it's very hypocritical for him to say in this. So yeah, it's kind of very contradictory to say that for give GT the exception but not Super. This showcases more of his fan side when it comes to GT, and it's fine to like GT more than Super. It's fine to hate Super and like GT, but you have to be reasonable. You cannot make BS excuses for that, because let's be honest, GT's power scaling was shittier than this from what he's shown. The characters were getting millions and billions of times stronger from just existing. They weren't even fighting or training, which made no sense. So yeah, I agree with the message that he's conveying, but I do not agree for the messenger who's sending this message.
To cope with it for our own version of Dragon Ball, which is fine and harmless as headcanon, but in terms of what actually happens, it's inaccurate, and we just need to look at it for what it is. And that's how this power scale works. Whatever happens in the manga power-wise, I'm just gonna straight up show you what happens. Bad or not, we're not making sense of it, we're simply counting it.
Okay, then I retract my statement a little bit there. I didn't mention that he did that. Personally, if I was going to do a video on his power scale and stuff, I get doing that, but I would put more disclaimers saying, well, this is not very consistent, and in a real debate, you shouldn't take this into consideration or use this in a debate. But for just power scaling's sake, ignoring any positive and negatives, this is what we're shown. And I will be doing a video similar to this, but a little bit different. So yeah, I will take back the fact that he was, giving GT leeway and Super a hard time. I probably should have listened to more of the video, what he was saying. But yeah, I still do agree with what I said. I don't like the way he handled that one, but at least he is being fair doing it for Super, though I don't like the, just doing that in general, just ignoring ignoring bad writing and just letting headcanon fly.
Remember, Toyotaro Toriyama, they don't write things with an in-depth power scale in mind. They write for the story and decide some characters are
for
strong
plot
at
convenience
specific times because they feel like telling the story that way. And let me tell you right now, in the Goku Black arc of the Dragon Ball Super manga, you're going to see some of the most diabolical power jumps in Dragon Ball. This arc breaks the...
I have never read the manga, so most likely that it will have bad writing. But I remember specifically the anime. I mean, they had Trunks. He was only Super Saiyan 2 level, and this guy just gets angry once and unlocks this new form, and now he's able to compete against Goku Black and Zamasu better than Goku and Vegeta are in their blue form. And I stated in a video, one of these videos, I stated that it was stupid that it was another video, I think. I stated that it was like, it's stupid that, you know, Trunks was Super Saiyan Blue level by one transformation. Some guys like, he's not Super Saiyan Blue level. Rewatch the show. They were getting bodied. He actually did some damage to Super Saiyan Rose, Goku, but they didn't. So it's like, it showcased their power, and he was the one who took out the merged Zamasu, which is just even more BS. I did not like that. I felt like it was bad. And people say the manga is better, but if I'm being honest, I think the manga and the anime trade off when at different points in which one's worse with the power scaling. I think they're both just equally bad though.
The Dragon Ball Super manga, believe me, they get insanely strong. Now, if you're unfamiliar with big numbers after millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions, then now is the time to get used to them. I recommend you looking up the different levels of numbers so you know what an octillion is. And no, it's not an octopus crossed with a lion. This is why Super Saiyan Rose is We get to see Goku and Vegeta in a sparring match in Capsule Corp. And Goku stated Vegeta's gotten better. Now, better can be interpreted in so many ways. We also don't know the time span, but it's presumed the two have kept up their training. So a 1.25 times increase, a tier boost to their base power is acceptable here. It's worth noticing, Beerus doesn't think much of Goku and Vegeta here. In the future timeline, Goku Black in base takes on future Trunks. Trunks gives his absolute all as a Super Saiyan 2, but Goku Black is almost able to tank a Masenko. Masenko is similar to a Kamehameha in that it raises power multiple times, Kamehameha being 2.2 times, so let's go with 2 times in this case. Goku Black, base form, almost tanks it, so I put in 1.75 times the Masenko. But we need to go where Trunks fought Goku in Capsule Corp. He states he's fought Goku Black for 1 year, and also states he trained and got a lot stronger, but it still wasn't enough. Actually saying he's trained himself to death over the 10 years. Plus this is now some time after the Dabura fight, which justifies why Trunks' base form now is above a Buu Saga Super Saiyan 3 Goku, whereas he needed Super Saiyan 2 to beat Dabura previously.
Wait, he says right here Trunks is above Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. Trunks is Super Saiyan 1 Dabura level, Super Saiyan 2 versus Dabura. I mean, but Dabura is like just a bit stronger than Cell, which doesn't make him that much stronger. But I'm pretty sure I've heard multiple times in the manga that Goku had to go Super Saiyan 3 to take out, or no, he had to go Super Saiyan God to take out, what's the thing called? Trunks, because Super Saiyan 3 wasn't enough. Whereas in the anime, he took him out in Super Saiyan 3. He said Goku Black was stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Goku Black came through. He fought him in Super Saiyan 2 and was able to go back and forth with him, which showed that Goku was actually holding back in Super Saiyan 3 when he took out Trunks. He didn't need to go into it. He could have handled him in Super Saiyan 2 form. It was just that he was significant. He wanted to, show him the new transformation. Also, it was just for cool aesthetics like Super Saiyan 2 Trunks versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And it was to showcase, it was to, I guess, also trick the people to say, oh, Goku Black is stronger than Super Saiyan 3. But then I was like, nah, Goku is still stronger than him in that form. And to showcase his, control of his energy.
Obviously, Trunks has gotten a lot stronger. Now, when Goku and Trunks fight, we says that Trunks and Goku in Super Saiyan 2 are almost equal. Trunks having slightly more skill. But we shall go with equal in raw power as Goku managed to block his sword attacks with his finger pretty swiftly too. Super Saiyan 3 Goku then reveals himself, and Trunks responds with an upgraded Super Saiyan 2 which is stated to be the level with the current Super Saiyan 3 Goku's power. It's important to note, Goku was not suppressing his Super Saiyan 3 power here against Trunks. At that moment in
he was
time,
in the anime,
the whole
but not
intention
manga.
was to show how much Trunks' Super Saiyan 2 upgraded power rivals Super Saiyan 3 without transforming into Super Saiyan 3. And the whole reason why Goku went Super Saiyan God for a split second was to end it. It doesn't make sense for Super Saiyan 3 Goku to be suppressed, and he supposedly could have ended it in one shot. He didn't. He couldn't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. People keep on saying the manga is better written and stuff, but here's the thing. I will give it a credit. Sometimes the manga is better written, But you can't sit here and tell me that the manga is perfectly written and power scaling and the anime is the trash one. It's like they're both trash. They just have different parts where they're trashing. I think the anime actually handled it perfectly well. Goku going Super Saiyan 3, he didn't need to. He was just showing it to him, the power that he had. And he was also playing around, and they showed this later on when he was fighting, base Goku Black. I like that more than him going Super Saiyan 3 and struggling and have to go Super Saiyan God to take him out. Some people like that. They're like, well, this makes the power scaling better because in the manga, he didn't absorb the godly form into his base, so his base didn't get that much stronger. It probably gotten stronger, obviously, through just regular training, but not significantly stronger like it did in the anime. So he, in his base, in Super Saiyan 2 and 3, Super Saiyan 2 and 3 and stuff, would just be a little bit more of an increase than what he had before, which would make more sense, but still, it does not make sense that Trunks at Super Saiyan 2 would be, since Goku should have been fighting harder opponents, would be past Goku Super Saiyan 2 and enough to the point where he would be even past Super Saiyan 3 Goku. That is just dumb that Super Saiyan 3 Goku would have to go Super Saiyan God just to take him out. I see what I mean by the power scaling. The manga is just as bad. People keep saying the manga is good, but the manga is trash. I don't know why people keep on defending the manga. The manga has shitty writing. This is definitively shitty writing. I don't know why people are saying this is good writing. It showcases that, because they don't like the fact that he absorbed it in his base because it makes him look even weaker if he's struggling against other people. But at least you can argue that he's holding back his energy. This one, he just got bossed. Like, how is he? Even if we're saying just regular Super Saiyan 3, he should be bodying, Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. I'm sorry. That's just shit writing.
That's why he went Super Saiyan God.
But I do agree with his assessment on that.
Scale. So it makes sense that Trunks' massive growth happened as soon as Goku Black turned up. In terms of Zamasu in the main timeline, he is at least 1.25 times Kibito. During their match, it was stated in previous guidebooks that Kibito could give Gohan a good fight unless Gohan transformed at the start of the Buu Saga. So if Buu Saga base Goku is a 1 in this scale, Gohan around the time of the 25th Budokai Tenkaichi was less than a 1. So Zamasu here, in the main timeline, is literally a 1 at best.
Yeah, that's even, once again, pathetic because in the anime, he was able to handle Super Saiyan 2 Goku, and they were doing a little bit of pushback. Obviously, Super Saiyan 2 Goku is stronger than him, but Goku and Super Saiyan 2 absorbed the power of a godly form, the universe destroying stuff. I'm not saying that he was using that full power, but he did have that power, and he was able to handle it, so showcasing him a lot more powerful. And that was the one previous time, because people need to understand, though, Zamasu that was with Goku Black was from that universe, but from a future one. So he was from I think around actually he was from Trunks' timeline. Goku Black's one was from Goku's one. It was just a separate timeline that was fit with the same time itself. Whereas Trunks' one is I think 17 or 20 years in the future. So that one was a 20-year-older version of him. So he should be significantly more powerful. But this one they made him close to Kibito, which, let's be honest, that's not very impressive. I don't like that decision by the manga. It puts him in such a disadvantage in power.
Now this is where we get an insane power-up for Vegeta. Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks travel to the future and encounter Goku Black. They both fight as Super Saiyan 2. If you think he's a Super Saiyan 1, it really doesn't matter, because that 2 times boost is not going to make much difference in the grand scale of things.
Also, I think he is Super Saiyan 2 since he has lightning. Super Saiyan 1 doesn't. But also, I don't like the fact they gave him Super Saiyan. I think it was pointless. Giving him Super Saiyan Rose was perfect enough. I think they just needed one transformation.
Super Saiyan 2 due to the mass amount of electricity between Vegeta and Goku Black. Now what's also important to note, Trunks talks to Mai about Goku Black becoming a Super Saiyan, and Trunks says, but somehow he's gotten much stronger since the last time I fought him. Now it's reasonable to believe Trunks isn't referring to the Super Saiyan power-up, because he knows full well Super Saiyan powers up the body. He's actually referring to Goku Black's base strength going into the fight with Vegeta. Trunks later says that Goku Black's Super Saiyan form is even stronger, so there's a passive growth going on. But right now Goku Black is at least 1.5 times stronger than before, as Trunks refers to Goku Black's power as much stronger. But what's even crazier is Vegeta's Super Saiyan 2 starts to overwhelm Goku Black, and that's a fact. Now it could be Vegeta's base has just been higher than Goku's for a while, and that's why Goku said to Vegeta, you've gotten better, meaning Vegeta wasn't even trying in base form against Goku back at Capsule Corp. Or it could just be flat out that Vegeta got a massive plot power-up over the last day, and so has Goku. Either way, they result in the same. Vegeta's base is currently...
Yeah, it can go multiple different ways. When you have an inconsistency, you can either look at it as, they probably just get, BS power up from doing nothing. Like, one day, both Goku and Vegeta just got a power up and they got past, that because of the whole Trunks thing. Or another way you can look at it is the whole scenario between Trunks and Goku really didn't mean anything. Goku having to go Super Saiyan got taken out. Even though it was shown, a lot of times the whole point of it being inconsistency is it doesn't match up with the other piece. You have like two puzzles of the piece, basically something that happened in the past and then something happens later on in the series, and they don't really correlate or connect with each other power-wise. It doesn't make sense. So you could either look at it as, oh, maybe they got a BS power-up, or that instance where they had that moment and that feat that happened was just, we don't take that into consideration at all and we ignore it. So that's the only ways you can look at it. That's how he looked at it the other way. Personally, I prefer to look at it as what it was shown from the fight between Goku and Trunks didn't have any real meaning behind it. It was just them making stupid stuff up. So that's just a pure inconsistency. And that's why it's very hard to power scale these. That's why I said that you should never power scale Dragon Ball Super. Power scaling GT and Dragon Ball Super is a horrible idea because it's very inconsistent, and the way he's doing it is we're going to ignore the inconsistencies and just go with it. Okay, that's fine. But if you want to argue for argument's sake of who would win in a fight, like let's say Goku from GT or Super compared to another character, you would need to bring up good feats, and the feats would have to be consistent. If they're not, then the person who's arguing against you could, bring counter feats saying, well, they struggled with this and that, even if you have strong feats where they show them more impressive. So that's also, it becomes a problem when it comes to, power scaling this type of stuff. That's why I would prefer power scaling Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, because even though it had inconsistencies, it wasn't as much or as big as what we've seen in Super and GT, to the point where it's impossible to do it without, making no sense.
2,625 times stronger than Goku's at Capsule Corp, and Vegeta's base back then, if this is now a plot power-up. Both Goku and Vegeta grow exponentially over this day, since Capsule Corp, but keeping them equal for now is safe until further statements appear. Goku Black gets healed by Zamasu of the future, and it's stated he is benefiting from Zenkai boosts, but Vegeta and Goku can't do it anymore due to hitting their limits. This doesn't mean their base forms can't get stronger through battle and training, it only refers to the Zenkai and their current limits. Like Goku in the Cell.
Yeah, that's what they also kind of mentioned it in the in the Universe 6 vs 7 tournament in the anime, where they were in the hyperbolic time chamber and Vegeta said that, we can't get any stronger than this, but then we see them getting significantly stronger still throughout the series and their base, because if they couldn't get any stronger, the only way you can progress the power would be to have a more powerful transformations or have some OP ridiculous ability or technique to do so. Otherwise, base and stuff, they can't get any stronger. But from the manga, it seems like they were more trying to showcase that it was the Zenkais. And I think that's what the anime was going with, but they just didn't explain it well enough. So yeah, it's a good thing that Saiyan Scholar mentioned that, because a lot of people might think that they can't get stronger in base, but no, they can't get stronger through Zenkais, getting beaten up and getting revived and stuff. They can only get stronger through training and, fighting, stronger opponents that push them further.
Games. He was at his limit then, but 7 years later in the Buu Saga, it doesn't invalidate his Cell Saga limits at the time, and plus, there are times when Goku's base does evidently grow from here. So I take this as just the Zenkai boost doesn't work.
It seems reasonable.
Or it's very, very minimal. So how is it possible for Goku Black to be stronger and keep getting Zenkais? Well, it's also stated Goku Black has the soul of a god and the body of a Saiyan. They are increasingly becoming one and the same.
Important.
So in essence, the fact that Zamasu is a god means the Saiyan Zenkai cap could be lifted to go along with this plot.
I do like how he mentions that, and this is a very interesting thing that a lot of people need to know, and I really want to, explain this, because I think this is one thing that's not really touched upon too much when it comes to Dragon Ball characters and their power, and that's, what makes their ki, what makes their power their ki and stuff. And we see there was this thing by Toriyama stated, it was like courage, vigor, and mind was what it was like, referring to for ki. But what it really translates to for their power and how they increase their ki is through physical training, mental training, and spiritual training, What does that mean? Physical training is, through fighting, through, just doing reps and lifting weights and stuff and doing martial arts and stuff. That's the physical training aspect. Then there's the mental, which kind of also has a little bit of spiritual, mixed into it. When you, like you meditate, you see Piccolo meditating. You saw in the newest, Dragon Ball film, Vegeta meditating, which Goku said, "Why are you meditating?" Which he has done it himself, which is just so stupid. But yeah, that is training their mind. When you train your mind, you're getting stronger mentally. And then the spiritual one is just training your energy within you, and that is training the energy that you're able to do, techniques with, and increase that. So if you do those three things, Dragon Ball characters can get more powerful. And why is this important? Because if you look at it, you will see that these things connect to different parts. The physical connects to their, physical capabilities, their speed, strength, durability, attack potency. And then when you go to the mind, it goes to their, telepathic powers, such as their telekinesis, telepathy, psychokinesis, whatever, mind powers they have. Every time they train their mind, their entire power gets, starts to rise up, but especially their mental powers. Then when they do, their spiritual training, they're able to increase, their stamina. They're able to increase their energy projection. How fast they're able to, get energy and fire it off. They can also do create new techniques through doing that. So these three aspects have very important parts to play when it comes to the the Saiyan's ability to get stronger. Not just the Saiyans, but the Dragon Ball characters' abilities to get stronger. If you do those things, that's where they get stronger through the thing. So they can get stronger physically, mentally, and spiritually by training those ways. People think that they just get stronger physically only, but no, there's other things. And that's why I feel like when people say, well, psychic attacks can work on these characters, but they have psychic abilities, one, and two, they do train their mind. Not as much as their body, but they definitely train their mind, so they will have some psychic resistance. There will still be a limit to for their physical, how they do for their physicality, but their psychic abilities, they do have, a cap for it. And we do get a little bit of this explanation in the Frieza saga with, Captain Ginyu. Yeah, so we see this with Captain Ginyu when he invaded Goku's body and took over, and he was like, well, he took over, he's like, well, I got all this power now, I'm going to be super strong. We know that he also had the Kaioken, which would, increase his power even more, but he wasn't even able to get Goku's power without even the Kaioken, because his power level was around 23,000, and Goku's power level when he came out from the ship would be around 90,000. So he was significantly stronger in his base when he arrived and fought Captain Ginyu, compared to the power that Captain Ginyu got from Goku when he changed bodies with him. Goku does get to 180,000 power level of 180,000, but that's going through Kaioken. Kaioken, multiplies that times 2, but normally he would be 90,000, so he was significantly stronger. And he explains to him multiple times throughout the fight, while he's fighting, Krillin and Gohan, he mentions to him that you don't know how to, use my body. You might have taken it, but your mind and your body are not one. So basically, you need mind, body, and soul. And they were not one. The fact that they were not one made him, not be able to draw out the full potential of his body, because he doesn't have a full grasp of it. And as the fight progressed, he did get more of a grasp of it and got, more connected to his body, and that's how he got stronger. But prior to that, he was struggling. So these mind and the body and the spiritual aspect all have to synchronize very well, or you're not going to get the full aspect of their power. And depending on what mind and soul, especially if you do it through changing bodies, Captain Ginyu or Zamasu, by doing that, switching over, you keep Goku's physical power, but you don't get his mental and his spiritual power, but you can add your own to it. And I think since he has a godly, aura and stuff, his power added to Goku's body made him even stronger. And I will make a video on this in the future where people talk about how did Goku Black get so significantly strong. And I will be saving this for that in the future, because there is there's an actual reasoning for that, and I'll get into that in a future video. But yeah, his mind and his spirit were on a godly divine level, so it blended in perfectly with his body and could handle it better, and it makes sense why he was able to surpass his limits with the Zenkais better than Goku's, because he has basically different soul and mind in there. And we've seen this before also with Kami. Kami took over this guy and he called himself Shin in Dragon Ball. He was fighting and he took out Yamcha, he took out Yajirobe, and he was able to actually decently fight against Piccolo when he came there. Even though these characters should be beating whoever's body he possessed, because he just possessed a regular old man's body, but this old man's body was enough to take punches and hit them. He even took a spirit ball from Yamcha. Yamcha threw a spirit ball, hit him directly in the face, and he tanked it. He took all this stuff and he took him out with just a swipe of his hand, I think, and took him out. He was able to do this not because the body that he inhabited was powerful, but because his spirit and his mind were so powerful that even though the body was just regular human level or even below that, it was able to significantly jump it to that point. So it really matters. And imagine with Goku's body, it will do it even higher. So yeah, I really like this. I will also make another video talking about, the Dragon Ball characters, protection against psychic attacks. Because people think that Itachi with, his different Sharingans or Genjutsus and stuff can really, affect Goku. And I'm not saying he can't, but people act like Goku would have no defense against it, which that's not true. So yeah, let's get back to it. I know I went on quite a bit, but I feel like that's very important to explain. I will probably make a video in the future going more in depth in it, but for right now, I'm just going to keep it in this video.
He immediately overwhelms Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, so at least 1.25 times. But Vegeta gets a Senzu, and it does nothing, and he's still overwhelmed at 1.25 times. Goku Black gets healed again, but was not severely damaged this time. He just states the...
In the anime, it was a little more impressive. In this one, he had to go Super Saiyan 1 or 2, whatever you want to argue. But in the anime, he was able to take out Super Saiyan Blue in base. Not take him out, but he was able to hurt him in base and, speed blitz him. He came so fast that he put his fingers to his chin, and Vegeta was like, what the hell? Where did he come from? He was able to take him down. He did go Super Saiyan Rose right after, but he only went to that form to show off his new power and to mess with them. That was it. He didn't really need it to handle him. But yeah.
The more these damaged cells regenerate, the more they become his own control. So Goku
Makes
Black
sense.
gets stronger by lifting the Zenkai cap, as well as passively unlocking power. So in this case, it's
and I'll get into making a video of that
in
in the future.
Second heal raised his power by 1.25 times, and Super Saiyan Rose is an absolute monster of a form here. Completely squashes Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, applying the 1.6 billion multiplier onto Goku Black's new base form, puts him at 81 sextillion in this power scale. And if you want to know...
Let me look back at it. Okay, so you said base Vegeta, he was 2 million. I guess he was Super Saiyan 2 in that one. And then Vegeta Blue, he was 3.2 quadrillion. Goku Black is Super Saiyan 2, first heal for... Oh, okay.
Puts him at 81 sextillion in this power scale. And if you want to know how much stronger that is than Kid Buu versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku, divide it by 400. And we get 242 quintillion times stronger than Kid Buu versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It's ridiculous. During this battle, Goku Black states he has now mastered the power, at least in terms of progressive growth. And that stops here, unless he gets visible Zenkais. Now Zamasu takes on Super Saiyan 1 Goku, and he's able to freeze him. Now he even admits he's not as strong as Goku, but gods have their own ways of fighting. Therefore, Zamasu does not surpass Super Saiyan 1 Goku with raw power. This Zamasu is clearly far stronger than the previously scaled Zamasu in the main timeline. No explanation why, other than the plot again. But Super Saiyan Goku...
No, it does make sense, because I don't know if it's in the manga too, but in the anime what it was shown was he was from Trunks' timeline. So Trunks' timeline is 20 years in the future. Yes, did he not fight Goku? But that doesn't matter, because he had the same level of power at that time. So basically think of it this way. Super Saiyan 2 Goku, Zamasu is stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Goku, right? He's a little bit less than him. With 20 years, he would get significantly stronger. So that makes sense in the anime. The manga, he was I think a bit stronger than Kibito. So with 20 years, he should get stronger, but could he get that much stronger? I don't agree. That I can see where he's coming from.
still dominates if it wasn't for the magical abilities. Goku and Vegeta then get overrun by Goku Black and retreat back to the past, and Trunks sucker punches Goku Black, but again this doesn't equate to any visible power jumps for Trunks. As I said before, in Dragon Ball Super, if you're off guard or careless, you're vulnerable as someone with a power level of 1. And as proven, Goku Black pins Trunks down with no struggle.
Wait, what did he say?
Or careless, visible power jumps for Trunks. As I said before, in Dragon Ball Super, if you're off guard or careless...
Yeah, I agree with this. Good thing he specifically mentioned Super, because I've seen Super fans saying, it makes sense, these characters when their guard is down, they're vulnerable to any damage. It doesn't matter how weak the person is, even bullets and stuff can hurt them. And no, that's not true. It is true in the case of Super Beast, the bad writing, but in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, you see multiple instances where these characters are not only caught off guard, but completely drained of power and have, no ability, and they are able to tank, things that would kill a normal person, and even them, if they're very powerful, they're able to tank attacks from other people who have power, hitting them while they're caught off guard. And I did make a video about this, talking about the Dragon Ball characters' durability. Go check it out. I will have the link in the description down below when I'm, done uploading this video. But in that video, I just basically used, feats from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z a little bit. Just images of scenes and moments where these characters got hit with, attacks, or got hit with something like a rocket or something while they were caught off guard or heavily damaged, and it did nothing to them and they were able to tank it still. Now, I will admit, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z do have moments where these characters are hurt, like, when we had Vegeta and, the Saiyan saga where he was down and he was crawling, trying to get away, and Krillin could have killed him with the sword, and he also got cut in the back earlier with the sword, even though he's significantly more powerful than that. But, there is inconsistencies in Dragon Ball Z, but in Super, countlessly, and specifically they mentioned it, that if you're off guard, you can be taken out by anything. But in Dragon Ball Z, that isn't really the case most of the time. That's only once in a while where we see that happening.
You're vulnerable as someone with a power level of...
Yeah, I agree with him.
Proven,
good thing he said Super, not Dragon Ball.
With no struggle. A day later, when Trunks returns to the battlefield and Goas is talking to Goku Black, Trunks encounters Zamasu and says, if it's only you, I can at least stall you. This does not refer to power, but the fact Zamasu is immortal and keeps coming back. Trunks is far stronger in raw power than Zamasu at this point, but immortality is the deal breaker. This is proved later when Super Saiyan God...
And the reason why I think it's important to mention Zamasu's power and why it's pathetic that in this one he's significantly weaker than the anime. And I'm not saying the anime version is like some, untouchable being either, because he was getting easily bodied, but these guys were still in their quite powerful states, and he did have his mortality, but I think even without his immortality, he would have been able to, have a decent fight. I'm not saying he would beat them, but he would be able to have somewhat of a decent fight, especially compared to this version. And the reason why that's important is when you do the fusion, you're multiplying the power by both the characters. So if one character is significantly stronger and the other one significantly weaker, it'll make that fusion significantly weaker than what it would have been if they were both quite as strong. So in the anime, there's still quite a big difference in power between, Goku Black and, Immortal Zamasu, but not as much as in the manga, where that would make the manga, fused counterpart significantly weaker.
Tells Zamasu that he is much weaker than Trunks, so I give Trunks a 2x domination multiplier over Zamasu. And not only that, it's important to consider Supreme Kai was willing to stand up to Zamasu confidently. Zamasu still believes himself to be above Supreme Kai, and he is, as momentarily he whips Supreme Kai into the dirt. So it's reasonable to put Zamasu at 1.5.
I think we could just put that as, Supreme Kai being an idiot. He did the same thing throughout all of the Buu saga. Everyone's like, this guy doesn't know shit. It's just his character flaw where he's supposed to be a quite well-knowing character, but he's just a dumbass.
Times Supreme Kai, but nevertheless a huge power jump for Supreme Kai as well. When Vegeta finishes his training in the Time Chamber and fights Goku Black, he switches to Blue mid-fight against Goku Black to save stamina. It's still essentially Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta versus Goku Black, but with a twist. The blue power is able to overwhelm Goku Black, making Vegeta's Time Chamber training give him a 31,250,000 times raw power increase, in addition to a technique to conserve the blue power. Pretty incredible. Now, even though previously Trunks said that Goku and Vegeta had hit their limits and don't benefit from Zenkai boosts, that is true in terms of the Zenkai boost,
Yeah.
but they still grow through training in the manga, as demonstrated here when Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta's power is now able to keep up with Super Saiyan Rose, which it previously couldn't.
How would you guys feel if the Dragon Ball, like Goku and Vegeta, because we know Goku and Vegeta, the whole point of the Saiyans and like Dragon Ball characters is there's no limit to how much stronger they can get. But what if there was? What if Goku and Vegeta reach a limit gap of their base power? Like no matter what training they did, no matter what adversary they fought, they wouldn't get stronger throughout base, but they can get stronger through different transformations and techniques. Would you guys like that? Personally, I would not. I would prefer them just to get stronger and have no limit cap on their, the potential of their growth. If they want to do it on Zenkais, that's fine. But the potential of their growth through training and stuff, I don't think they should ever do it. But if they do, would you guys like that? Because personally, I don't. So I just want to know what you guys think about that.
The multiplier for Blue didn't get stronger. Vegeta's base actually got stronger and better conditioned. Zamasu sucker kicks Super Saiyan God Vegeta, but as I said, sneak attacks don't count towards anything anymore. All measurements and comparisons are done when both fighters are on guard and locked on each other. Now as the arc progresses, we get to God Zamasu, or Merge Zamasu. This one has a frightening power in the manga. The consistent fusion multiplier I've used in the past and works well in conjunction with Dragon Ball lore and all of the fusion material combined is the best of A plus the best of B, then multiply that by 100 to get the resulting base fusion that appears. It worked for Vegeta in Z, it works for Gotenks, it works for Kefla in the anime, it works for Gogeta, so this is the way I go. But because Zamasu is so low, it's essentially just Goku Black's power magnified.
That's what I'm saying. In the anime, people could also say that, Goku Black was the biggest contributor to that, fusion, and I do agree. But I do think a lot of people underestimate Zamasu's, contribution. They feel like they say he's like way weaker. But in the anime, even though he is weaker, he's not that much weaker from what we've seen. But in this manga, definitively, yeah, he should be significantly weaker. And that's why I'm saying that this fusion would technically be significantly weaker than the anime one. Because the anime one had both the characters a lot more powerful and fusing. This one, they had one character powerful and not as powerful as the anime, but still the only powerful one and the other one weak. So their, fuse state is not going to be that insanely more powerful.
God Zamasu is 80 times stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. But when it comes to Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Goku is able to put a Kamehameha through God Zamasu's guts. Now this one is a huge debate, because some argue Goku's Kamehameha was God Zamasu levels. Others think it was Zamasu being careless with his guard down, and I agree with the latter due to this moment being portrayed as a surprise attack. Zamasu's facial expressions
also, people need to know in the manga, when they have double exclamation marks, that is an indication of a character being caught off guard. It's either a double exclamation mark or an exclamation mark and a question mark. Whenever they put that, that's basically just, it's kind of like a notification that, hey, they're caught off guard. So if you guys, make any like debating videos about, their durability, especially when they're caught off guard, realize that if you want to use feats where they're caught off guard, if they have that symbol, that's the perfect one, to use for your argument.
Also being surprised and was extremely arrogant and boasted to Goku whilst approaching him. So that was the intention. God Zamasu is arrogant and lucky to have healing here, just proving that fights can be over in a heartbeat if someone lowers their guard. A fundamental lesson to Dragon Ball Super's battle history.
Yeah, that's specifically for Super.
But then enter Vegito, or Vegerot? No, let's stick with Vegito, guys. What we learned from Super Saiyan Blue Vegito is that God Zamasu can't even hurt this guy. Yeah. Vegito is far beyond, to the point where this is nothing like the anime.
Yeah.
There's a crazy clash between the two. No, in the manga, Vegito is far, far beyond, more than the anime, to the point when he charges his final Kamehameha. Supreme Kai then questions if that power has exceeded Beerus. Now, from a narrative point of view, there is an intention with that dialogue. It's putting Vegito Blue's Kamehameha power and Beerus in the same ballpark at this.
Let's talk about this now. In the anime, Super Saiyan Blue, you can argue it was more powerful, but you can't say that it was completely, dogging and one-sided fight against, his Merge Zamasu. Merge Zamasu was able to put up a good fight back and forth against him. So it was a little bit more, evenly matched. This one, they made it completely one-sided. Personally, my problem with Zamasu in the anime, which I made a video on that, go check that out also. I mentioned in that video my biggest problem was they made Merge Zamasu way too weak. He was getting hurt by, you know, Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Super Saiyan Blue Goku. He got hurt by Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and, you know, Trunks. Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta, and Trunks were able to push back his attack and, you know, destroy it, though he did end up, you know, taking Vegeta out with his, you know, Thunderbolt attack, whatever it was called. And Goku was able to not only beat him in the Beam Clash, but also damage him in it. And Toriyama, his, you know, his thought process was, and he gave it to both Toei and Toyotaro, was he wanted Goku and Vegeta to be strong enough to beat him by their own. But both Toyotaro and Toei Animation thought that would be too stupid, so they went with the more fusion Super Saiyan Blue route, which I do prefer, but they handled it completely differently. In the anime, in the manga, they made Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta way stronger, and in the anime, they made them more even. So, if I'm being honest, the manga made sense because Goku and Vegeta were weaker than Goku Black, but they were significantly stronger than Zamasu. So them fusing makes more sense why they're stronger. But in the anime, it wouldn't make sense for them to be stronger since Goku Black was stronger than both of them, and Zamasu was weaker, but he wasn't significantly weaker. So it makes sense that that happened. But I don't like the way they handled it in the anime. Where they had Trunks taking him out. I think it would have been better if Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta took him out. And I'm not saying Zamasu completely because he is immortal. Taking out his body, yes, but I still think that, you know, immortality thing where he was, you know, taking over the sky and stuff, I think that's reasonable, and I'm fine with that.
This moment in time during the Dragon Ball Super manga. In future arcs, Moro, etc., I'm not speaking for. I'm talking strictly about the Goku Black Arc Beerus. But how strong is Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta? First, we have to calculate the power of Goku, because after fusion, it's stated Vegeta felt Kakarot's true power during the fusion. And
really?
if Vegeta can sense it, and Goku later clarified he's now going to show Zamasu all he's got, then that means the power was available to Goku that went into the fusion power to begin with. The true power for Goku is completed Super Saiyan Blue at this point, and it's stated it is capable of fighting equally with Zamasu, and demonstrates it in raw power, and at times shows better skill. Zamasu maintains the advantage due to the immortality and healing. So let's calculate completed Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegito Blue. Base Vegito is 101 times stronger than God Zamasu. Regular Super Saiyan Blue Vegito is 161 billion times stronger than Merge Zamasu. But it's reasonable to suggest, with the dialogue in this arc, billion times stronger. Zamasu. Regular Super Saiyan Blue Vegito is 161 billion times stronger than Merge Zamasu. But it's reasonable to suggest, with the dialogue in this arc, that Beerus is around the level of the power of the final Kamehameha. And it was only mentioned when Vegito charged it up. A Kamehameha is a 2.2 times multiplier.
The problem with you know, Supreme Kai stating that is, once again, he's an idiot. He's been wrong multiple times. He's shown not to understand very well. 2, Beerus has never really shown his true power, so he probably hasn't seen his full power. And 3, I think this was just Toyotaro trying to be like, hey, look, he is this significantly more powerful than him, that this attack's in that ballpark to showcase the level above that he has over him, since Beerus should be significantly stronger than, you know, Merge Zamasu or Zamasu in general. But yeah, that's just that, but the levels of power that he put up, I can't say that he would be that much more powerful than him in Super Saiyan Blue. And I don't know where he got the fact that his base was stronger than Super Saiyan Blue. Did he fight him in base and he was, you know, overpowering him? Because if that was the case that he was that much, then why would he go Super Saiyan Blue? That's too much. I feel like Super Saiyan Blue was definitely stronger than him, but I don't think based in other forms were. I think he had to go Blue to surpass him.
Final Flash is above a Gallic Gun, where a Gallic Gun is a 3. 4 has been reasonable in my Dragon Ball Z power scale, so 6.2 times for a final Kamehameha puts Beerus' raw power at 6.2 times Vegito Blue's combat power, at 8.2 undecillion. And if you want to know how strong these are compared to Kid Buu versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan Blue Vegito is 3.3 decillion times that, and Beerus' predicted power at this point in the Goku Black Arc is 20 decillion times stronger than Kid Buu versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku. A spine-chilling difference in power. As the battle progresses, God Zamasu becomes 2 God Zamasu with the same power. Vegeta rages out and uses a Gamma Burst to blow the 2 away. Again, This is another surprise attack with Zamasu looking surprised, lowering his guard, being careless.
Also, we don't see this in the anime. This move.
All the qualifications for justifying vulnerability during certain moments. But either way, it's time to wrap up this arc. Zeno turns up and erases the entire world, potentially the entire 12 universes in the future, and remains afloat in the macrocosm of the time.
He does, like, once again, I didn't read the manga, so it's gonna be hard for me to, argue or disprove or, agree with him or whatever. But it is definitively in the anime, the timeline. They stated the timeline. And it makes sense that it was the timeline because he was incorporating himself. Well, actually, no. In the anime, in the manga, he didn't incorporate himself in all the universes. But yeah, they did state in this, since he had to leave his universes, with the other one, that he wiped out. And it makes sense. Because if he just wiped out that universe, why would he choose to leave the entire, rest of all these other universes? Why would he leave the Omniverse when only one universe is wiped out? There's countless other universes that he can stay there for. Why would he leave that to go to this other one? That to me suggests that whole timeline was wiped out and there's nothing left for him to stay there for. If it was just one universe, he could have gone to, the other ones. And he doesn't even live in those universes. He lives outside in a different universe that, governs around the other realms. So he could just go back there. And he's wiped out, universes before and he stayed there. So why would he leave completely his entire timeline unless he wiped it out? So I think the feat is the same for the anime as it is for the manga.
And that's it for the Future Trunks arc. Yes, it just suddenly ends like that, just like the story. What a ride. A completely broken arc that escalates the power in Dragon Ball Super to insane levels. Coming up next, the Tournament of Power.
So that was the end of this video. Super Saiyan Rose is Maniacal by Saiyan Scholar. Once again, big shout out to him. I know I disagreed with him here and there in the video. These videos aren't for me to just be like, oh, I agree with everything he says. It's to look at what he's saying. If I agree with him, I'm going to give him credit that. If I don't, I'm going to call it out. But I will admit, compared to the GT ones, when he did the GT ones, I had quite a bit of stuff that I disagreed with. But when it comes to, the Super ones, I do agree with what he's saying and the statements he's making. Most of the commentary is just about the series itself and how it handled the power scaling, which it did do in a very terrible fashion, both the anime and the manga. I'm not going to be one of those people saying the manga did it better. They both did it just equally as bad. I think they could have handled the power scaling, significantly better than what they did. But yeah, there's not really much I have to say for this video. I will be making more future videos talking about the topic that I mentioned in this video. I'll probably make a couple other videos talking about some of the stuff that he mentioned because he did mention quite a bit of interesting stuff in this video. I also do want to make a video talking about Zeno and his power and my problem with the way he's been handled in the series and how he's been written and how I feel like he should have been handled throughout the series. But yeah, that's it for this video and I hope you guys enjoyed.